We're a bit late, we're a bit out of date, but finally we are here with the WWE NXT ratings. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And speaking of dates, Mariah made her debut on this show, and who wouldn't want to go on a date with the glamour Mariah May? Somebody that was getting called out, by the way, in AEW by WWE fans. You would put her over and say that she's did a good job, and people would bash her and say that she's not even in like the top 20 of WWE women, but now she's joined NXT and people were saying like put her on the main roster, give her the title. It's like, I mean, you can't win with these people. In AEW she was considered a bum. Turns up in WWE for 2 minutes, and all of a sudden, she's like considered to be the greatest thing ever. Yeah, it's just crazy. No consistency. Just the bias and the mind warping. Just because somebody wrestles for a company that they don't like or they do like, it's crazy. But anyway, let's look at the numbers here that Mariah May did. Not really crazy, but these are the numbers from the June 3rd edition of NXT, and you're thinking, well, that was about 5 days ago. You're right, it was 5 days ago, but here, Fog Wrestling, it was a busy week. You know, we had Money in the Bank and stuff like that, loads of crap. You had Worlds Collide, all that stuff, and I guess this video kind of just got lost at one point, but here it is. So 3rd of June 2025, NXT on the CW network did 684,000 viewers, which is up 5% on last week's, which was 650,000 viewers. Key demo was a 0.15, which is up 7% on last week's 0.14. So the overall viewership is up. The key demo is up. It's not massive numbers, but it's up on the previous week. And if you compare it to the last trailing 4 weeks, it's up 3% in viewership, because the viewership for the last 4 weeks is 666,000, so 666,000. Bit creepy there. What's happening on NXT? And the key demo over the last 4 trailing weeks was also 0.14. So it's up on the last 4 weeks, and it's up on last week, but still, you know, not an amazing number, not a number that is going to get you excited or get you standing and shouting from the rooftops, really. You know, it's 684, and it's probably one of the better numbers they've done since the beginning of April. If you can see, for some reason, since April, NXT has pretty much just floundered from the 700k to the 650 mark. Now, I don't know why it's up and down, but they can't really seem to break out of that section. And it is strange, because you get to April, and not only do you have WrestleMania season, which should benefit any, you know, brand in WWE, but you also have Stand and Deliver, which should specifically benefit NXT. But for some reason, you know, we just didn't see an increase in ratings. And in fact, when it gets to WrestleMania season, when it gets to Stand and Deliver season, it's actually had I'm not saying it's had a negative effect, but the ratings have went down, and WrestleMania season obviously hasn't helped for whatever reason. So yeah, that is a bit strange. But for the past 2 months, 9 weeks, NXT just, you know, in this 700 to 650k ballpark mark, and yeah, it's you know, the CW numbers, they're not what they were expecting. They were expecting 1 million. They've never hit 1 million, and I imagine now they probably never will hit 1 million. Honestly, for NXT to hit 1 million, I just don't really see how they do it. There's not many draws left in wrestling. There really isn't. And they need somebody that can get about 300k. And I just don't really know who they're going to put on NXT that can get 300k. I mean, a John Cena could get 300k, but he's not got many dates left, and I don't think they're going to waste one on John Cena. I don't think it would really make sense. Although Cena's claiming he wants to ruin wrestling, so maybe he could go to NXT and to tell all the people, here, your future dreams are getting wasted by me. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at the clips from the show then. So we've got 6 in total to look at, and the highest one is obviously Mariah May. She's here. The NXT Women's Division just became more glamorous. 634,000. So, you know, big difference between that and the one in second place, which was the full match, Trick Williams versus Mike Santana for the TNA World title. This got 177k. Now you might be thinking, here, it says 3 days ago. That's because I was going to make this video 3 days ago. But, yeah, I was a bit I don't know, wait, was a bit slow, was a bit behind the, behind the times or whatever. Who cares, man? Either way, these views have maybe went up a little bit since then, but nothing spectacular. In the third place, we have full segment. Jacy Jayne's NXT Women's title win sparks a major brawl. So, just got a bunch of the hotties, a bunch of the NXT baddies out there throwing fake punches. Is what it is, 167k. Do I think that Jacy Jayne should be the NXT Women's Champion? Not really. I'm not gonna, cry like a bitch because someone I don't like. She's not good in the ring. I don't want her to be champion. I'm not gonna cry or whatever. It's a strange choice in my opinion. But I mean, whatever. We'll see how it goes. Wrestling's dead anyway. It doesn't matter who they make the champion. I don't care who they put the belt on, but it did feel very strange, I think in the past, you've seen people win titles and you can kind of make an excuse for it or a reason for it. With Kofi Kingston, I think they were trying to do something similar to like Daniel Bryan. You had the Yes movement. I think they were trying to get the whole Kofi Mania thing over. With Jinder Mahal, you could say, well, they're trying to appeal to an Indian audience. They want to make a breakthrough over there, and what better way to do it than by having an Indian champion? So, some of the guys I don't really agree with winning titles, or I thought, that came out, that was left field. You can at least see why. I don't really know what Jacy Jayne has done, or, who knows? Maybe she slept with Shawn Michaels, it could be that. Maybe she's got dirt on Shawn Michaels, or something along those lines, but I don't really understand why she's champion. Right, what do we have in fourth spot? We've got Dragon Lee scores a win. Thrilling 8-man tag match, 80,000 views. Honestly, nobody cares. Fifth place, Tyra May Steele thrashes Ariana Grace on her NXT debut. 79k. Do not like Tyra May Steele. Just looks like a fucking jobber. Honestly, just these people, these are not wrestlers, man. I grew up watching great wrestling. These people don't have it. These people, for them, it's all about being athletic and being able to do moves, and they think they're great. If they can do like a backflip, and if they can, like do a somersault, and then they can do an acrobatic athletic maneuver, then they think they're great. They think that's wrestling. These people don't know wrestling. These people will never fucking know wrestling. And I don't know what they're teaching them down in WWE development, but they're not doing a good job. Honestly, no. NXT is the worst thing I think that WWE ever done. And it proves it, man. They all teach the same style. Everyone feels generic. Nobody feels special in the ring. Do you remember when wrestlers actually had different styles and different movesets and techniques, and you would get different clashes, and people genuinely felt different? Not just character, not just looks, but people genuinely wrestled differently in the ring. And now, you look at wrestling and it's like pretty much everybody is the fucking same. There's maybe like one or two people that stand out a little bit. I think someone that stands out a wee bit in NXT is probably like Sol Ruka. She's got like a unique kind of moveset, but for the most part, everybody feels the same. And these people will never go down as greats. These people will never, in my opinion, have a match that I consider good. They're not going to do anything good because these are just guys. It's gymnastics at the end of the day. These guys, they're not even good enough to be on the indies, in my eyes. So yeah, Tyra May Steele, LFG, fucking disgrace of a show. The fact Undertaker and Bully Ray have to sit there and pretend that these people are good, it's quite disgusting, to be honest. And then Mel's Bourne, and the quarter catch crew, whatever those shitey jobbers are called, gets 77k. So yeah, not impressive. But there you go. It's Mariah May. She's jobbed out Tony Khan. She's jobbed out AEW. And look, she always said that WWE was her dream. So therefore, if someone's dream is to go to WWE, it's going to be hard. WCW kind of had the same problem. Maybe to a lesser extent, because WCW was the #1 company for a lot of years. But there were still people in WCW that wanted to go to WWE. or if you were coming up, that WWE was, or WWF even, was always like the company that you would consider your number one priority if you cared about wrestling. I mean, yeah, I get it. Some big stars went to WCW, but I mean, a lot of them did it for a paycheck. People that actually cared about their careers and cared about making it in wrestling, they wanted to be in WWF. And if you look at it, a lot of those guys actually decided to move from WCW, to WWF. So, look, she didn't want to be in AEW anymore. I can understand it. Is what it is. I think Tony Khan did a good job with Mariah May. I think he booked her strong. She had a pretty short AEW career. I think just under 2 years. But the point I'm making is, people bash Tony Khan and say that he buries people, but he actually did a good job with Mariah May, and she still decided to leave. So I don't think there's anything he could have done more. I don't think he fumbled her. I think she just wanted to go to WWE, and then she went to WWE. So let's see what they can do with her, but I don't know. I'm not overly excited because I just think that anything good she had in AEW will be toned down to the bare minimum in WWE. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time, peace.